Yeah, actually, this is about the topic which I have been speaking about, how to integrate our Azure OpenAI API with our Azure IoT data. And myself, Saravanan Ganesan, actually currently working as an assistant consultant in IoT at TCS, and I'm also a Fisher Corner MVP. And I also been leading a community called the Azure Developer Community at Chennai. And I've been written in enormous blogs and currently writing a book which is related to Azure IoT as well. So my blogs actually predominantly will be based upon Azure services and IoT based the, uh, the use cases only. I'm actually also been I also uh, write some blogs which are related to the industrial point of view, which can give some insights what problems we will be facing in industries in various domains in terms of IoT and Azure cloud actually. So because actually usually by integrating this IoT and the we used to tell MOT and IT actually here. The MOT means operation technology and IT is information technology. Right? When integrating these two things, actually will face a lot of issues. So to solve those issues, one day actually the auditing IoT engineers there to resolve those things actually in both cloud side and the OT side actually. Okay, so I have been speaking all over the world in apart from India. I think India I've been speaking in Azure developer community, Pune tech community, and now also speaking with the Bishop Partner, the chapter events, and then also been speaking with multi-code technology user groups and Linux based user groups, and also speaking in and internationally with this Azure user group, the Sweden, Azure user group Ghana, and Azure user group Yorkshire as well actually. So and also be and in diffusing I have been as Microsoft certified in Azure IoT developer, and I also has acquired the Azure AI fundamentals certification as well from Microsoft. This is about something about some very small introduction about myself, and then actually I am now moving into the this session things actually like I yeah, first of all we start with what is my IoT, and then we will slowly move on into uh, uh, yeah, how to provision this IoT services in Azure, and then we will know actually take this we can see now we will take those data into our Azure OpenAI based services actually. So first of all, starting with actually what is mean IoT means actually it's kind of n number of devices which are connected to the network, but there our sensors are embedded to it, and since they are in the connected each other, they can send the data from the cloud to this central processing unit actually. So if you see here actually in this part actually, the data flow, if you see, it will be from data side actually, like from device to cloud and cloud to device as well. Actually, usually the devices which are taking place in this IoT ecosystem or will be termed as things actually, and they will be acting as a data source. And once this data moves from these things to the cloud, actually, the cloud can gather the data and provide resources for analyzing it, and it will also helps us to send the data back to our device actually. So these are the basic thing actually which is happening in the IoT ecosystem, where we can able to communicate from device to cloud and the cloud to device as well actually. And this is about the initial introduction about the Internet of Things. Moving on, yeah. If you see, yeah, we have two types of things actually for both consumers and businesses in IoT. Actually, one is called the device characteristics, and another one is called the consumer versus the business implementations. Actually, in device characteristics, if you can see what kind of device I need to take or pick actually for my particular IoT use case actually you can see, and in this actually you can check whether your device can be able to connect to the internet or not, or you can be able to if you are have any smart features in your device like a edge-based computing or an edge-based processing available or not, like that. Actually, we can be able to see. We need to take care of those things as well. And for the security point of view, definitely, actually, we need to check that whether my devices can make use of any certificates actually to get those data from outside world in a secure manner and to push those data to the cloud. So communication capabilities, we are using a number of protocols in IoT ecosystem like Modbus, CAN-bus, and then if you see, we are also using several communication the protocols like MQTT and AMQP. So we should see whether my device is compatible for this communication, any one of these communication the protocols, and also we need to check whether I can configure and program my devices actually the gateways where or the devices which we have been using in our IoT ecosystem to pull the data from the sensors actually. So these are about my device characteristics. And if you see our the consumer versus the business implementations actually, that intentions and goals of your IoT project should be very clear before getting it implemented. And also you need to know about the what kind of goals I need to take and what kind of precautions I need to take to to, to procure my data. And also, if you see with the data which we gather, the business wants to know what kind of analytics I need to do with the data like that actually. So these are some of my consumer and business implementations we need to take care, and device characteristics we need to take care of while we choosing a device for IoT actually. And actually, these are some of the strategies for implementing the IoT projects. And if a person who wants to implement this IoT based the projects in organizations, they should have some process considerations and design considerations actually. So, what is going to be a process consideration and design consideration? Process consideration means actually it will be like you should have some short term and long term goals to achieve or implement this IoT based project, and it should be in a phased, approachable manner actually. So, if you see in this phased, approachable manner, it will be easy for any organization to analyze that what kind of the IoT based outcome we will get, and what kind of good enough investment we can get it like that. Actually, it will be easy for the from an organization point of view to plan the things actually as well. And next for design considerations, actually, we need to check for technical strategy, architectural approach, solution governance, team members, and other resources. Technical strategy and marketing approach are nothing but actually we need to check whether the strategy which we applied for technically in applying this IoT solutions in our ecosystem, and architecture should suitable my the use case whichever I am proposing to the client. And solution governance is a kind of we should have a full control over the solution which we have been implementing so that it can avoid any security based issues which will cause it from outside of your organization. And then team members and other resources. Team members and other resources are nothing but actually they can you need to know and understand what my team members is capable of actually. For example, actually, if I want to implement an IoT based solution, uh, it should be clear that I should have a team with an expertise in edge-based edge-based technology as well, cloud-based technical skill, and application-based oriented and data engineer as well. We require four different teams actually to implement a end-to-end IoT-based solution actually in any organization. Actually. So these are the strategies we be following for implementing an IoT. And then actually you need to know the business case investigations actually that how this IoT use case will be adapted to your industry and fitting this IoT to your solution actually. So in this case, if you see from the industry adoption point of view, you should have broad spectrum support for IoT, and from fitting your IoT to your solutions, actually, it should have a be very business drivers and common architectural approach. If these things are there, actually, a business case value will be very high, and you can expect a return of a very high return of investment as well. Next, if you see actually data flow and the processing actually, what is meant by a data flow and processing means actually, if for example, if in an IoT based solution, if you see the data flows from the things and is processed through your storage, routing, and analysis to get some actions and displays. Actually, for example, if you take a what will actually yeah, any type of IoT device, for example, your smartwatch actually. Our smartwatch will collecting the data, which is considered as a things here, and then it will then generate the data. From this generated data, it will be sent to some insights actually to get some based upon the data which is generated from my things. These insights will actually will actually give some insights like we need to analyze or we need to go to different services of the Azure ecosystem. And then from there, actually, what will happen based upon the insights and analysis we done, we will be spending those data to the actions, where action is nothing but actually based upon your insights, actually, a dashboard or yeah, application will be developed which will display all your results. So these are the three types of terms which are involved in data flow and process, like things, insights, and actions. Okay, now we are actually going to see what are the core subsystem of an IoT architecture actually. The core subsystem of an IoT architecture is nothing but actually, if you see, we have an IoT device in the area of things, and where we can be able to provision and send the data from device to cloud. And most probably in this place only we are actually performing the device management. From IoT device, the data will be sent to the cloud gateway, which is an IoT hub, which is our Azure ecosystem actually. Okay, from here the data will be turned into two different types actually, like warm part and cold part actually. The stream processing and rules evolution over data. Then over the data from your cloud gateway, it will be moving into a stream processing. From this stream processing, actually, the data will be moved into a business integration. This flow, which is there from cloud gateway to stream processing to business integration, is completely based upon the hard part scenario where the data will be in this uh, streaming manner only, and it's not like storing in some place and it can be utilized later actually. So, but in this flow, you can see the cloud gateway to storage account and then into the business integration. If you see, the data will flow from my cloud gateway to storage account. There it can be stored for some time and then it can be used for the business integrations actually. So this two different parts, the warm part and cold part, actually will be used in the industrial point of view to see. Whereas in stream processing, we can be able to see the data which is streaming in live manner, but in a storage things where we can be able to use for some model predictions and all, we can make use of this data for some Azure ML based use cases actually. So once this is done, this business integration was done, the data will be sent for our UI and reporting tools actually. So in this space actually based upon our things and insights and actions actually our data will be passing from our IoT device and then actually it will be moving to a cloud gateway and then it will be moving to some stream processing services and storage services. And then after integration, all this data will be uh, showcased for us in the UI and the reporting tools actually. So only it will be classified as a things, this area where my device is lying, and this is a place where it will be considered as my insights, and this is a place where I consider as the actions where I can see the data which has been analyzed actually. So this is about our core subsystems of an IoT architecture. What on IoT use case if you take in Azure ecosystem actually, this is a heart of the architecture or basis in reference architecture that people make use of. So here, with this slide actually will tell us clearly about in what is meant by Azure IoT services and technologies we using in our Azure ecosystem. Actually, if you see here, Azure IoT technologies and solutions actually like SaaS solutions and SaaS solutions. There we have a Azure IoT solution accelerators, pre-configured solution for common IoT scenarios, and we have in SaaS solutions we have Azure IoT Central and Microsoft Dynamics and connected services actually. Okay, and then if you see in the past technologies, we can see device support, IoT, data analytics, and visualization and integration. So these four are daily important services. Whenever we take a or you're going to implement any IoT based solutions in your organizations, this type of device support, IoT, data analytics, and visualization integration, these things are really important for us actually. And then if you deep that dive into this for device support is nothing but the program which we are writing in our edge gateways actually using some Azure IoT device SDK. Actually, we can use, and the Windows and IoT is the operating system we might be using the edge gateways which are just supporting the Azure IoT device SDKs. And then if you see in this IoT based plastic the platform as a services, we have Azure IoT Hub, which is a very main important services, and Azure IoT Edge, IoT Hub device versioning service, Azure Maps, Azure Time Series Insight, Azure Sphere, Azure Digital Twins, Azure Functions, and Azure Visionary. Each and every services which have been mentioned here has their unique um, capabilities and functionalities, which are being which will be included in each and every Azure IoT architectures to perform their functionalities in an efficient way actually. And once the data from IoT are going to be, we have some data and analytics tools like Azure HD Insight, Azure Data Lake, and Azure Cosmos DB. And from the visualization and integration point of view, actually, we have the services like Microsoft Flow, Azure Active Directory, Azure Logic Apps, Microsoft Power BI, Web App, and Monitor and Notification Apps. So an entire the overall picture actually, which I am showing, it's like these are the services being predominantly used in Azure IoT based services, so that actually these services can be involved in your Azure IoT architecture when you are proposing as a architecture to your client sites based upon their use cases. So from this actually we have been completing then what is between IoT and what is Azure IoT services we have actually. So next we will be moving towards the Azure OpenAI part actually. So what is Azure OpenAI? I hope actually everyone here has been actually engaging to this world in OpenAI or Azure OpenAI for past 6 to 7 months actually. Okay, now OpenAI is a kind of open source thing which is started with GPT-4 or the GPT 3.5 things, but in Azure OpenAI is a predominant Azure service which will be giving access to all OpenAI's powerful language models, including GPT-4 and GPT 3.5, embedding that things the model series and more actually. So if you want to get access to this Azure OpenAI Studio or anything, actually, I will be telling you how you can get access for this Azure OpenAI Studio like that. So there actually, if you see in users, you can ask me that this Azure, yeah, how we can get access for this Azure OpenAI Studios actually, like we can be able to through how a particular user wants to access this services to uh, digital way like that. For that, actually, we can have various ways to access these things like REST APIs, Python SDK, or any web-based interface in the Azure OpenAI Studio actually. Okay, so these are about this is about the Azure OpenAI and through which services we can able to interact with the Azure OpenAI actually. Okay. And next slide is about Azure OpenAI in architecture actually. So while seeing this Azure OpenAI in architecture, actually we have two things. One is called a batch pipeline, and another one is called asynchronous one actually. So in this entire architecture, actually, if you see, we have been used several Azure OpenAI services like Bing search, and then actually also use LangChain as well, and also used actually the form recognize document checking Azure cache for dailies and everything actually. So, for example, if I see if my company product actually or any manuals or any documents are registered actually, my form recognizer will what it will do, it will be sending that glossy or the object recognition will send it to the form recognizer, and then actually from this form recognizer the data will be sent to the pre-processors model called document checking, and from there actually the data will be moved into the Azure OpenAI service as a language model, and then it will be moved as storage called Azure cache for that is actually as storage embedding actually. And then actually what will happen? The user will start querying those things actually. So once a user sends the query, there are some in web-based applications. It will be passed to our Azure OpenAI service, and then it will be decomposed into several tasks like retrieve top internal documentation, web search, or summarize and generate product comparison. So based upon their categories, actually, the data will be moved into Azure OpenAI again, and it will go there and it will start checking the lang chain, and from there, actually, it will be fetching the data from my store. So, but actually, if I want it as a struct-based language model, means actually what I can do, I can send the task to actually the web search. It will be going to my Bing search and again to LangChain, and it will go and fetch the data, and it will be coming back to my user and giving the data. And but if as a task three actually summarize and generate product comparisons, means actually it will go for an moderation filter, and it will be getting some comparational uh, answers, and it will be sending back to the user as a in the web-based format of the web-based format response to the user actually. So this is somewhat common Azure OpenAI in architecture we have actually, so that it will be easily understandable that where and when actually for each task which Azure OpenAI service actually will be using it. Next, actually, we have been moving into the Azure OpenAI Studio. The Azure OpenAI Studio will be like this only, which will be uh, it will be resembling like this actually, so that if you see uh, for example, I will let you know actually this Azure OpenAI Studio is not accessible for everyone. It will be accessible based upon some we need to fill some form from Microsoft, and then only we can be able to get access for this Azure OpenAI Studio. Okay, so to access this Azure OpenAI Studio, actually, we need to there is a link actually. I'll share in the chat window later this call actually that just so you ask so that you can make use of the public and you can be able to get access for it in Azure OpenAI Studio. So in this Azure OpenAI Studio, you can see that actually you have some model deployments and then explore, develop, and deploy. So three options will be there. What is meant by explore means actually you can be able to see what are the new Azure OpenAI's that features are available in the studio, and based upon that, actually we can be able to create some develop some solutions based upon the sample code which you have already been there, and also we can deploy the things using those models, and from that models actually we can make some API calls and we can get the send those data to different platforms actually. Okay, so this is about my this is about in Azure OpenAI Studio, and then if you see we are going to see what are all things we can be able to see we can be able to do using Azure OpenAI and this API actually. So in this case, actually we have a in this case, we have we can able to do actually the authentication, this API versioning, completions, embeddings, and chat completions. Actually, we can able to do using the Azure OpenAI in this API. So we can see using the authentication protocol, we can see is actually we can be able to see we can authenticate Azure OpenAI using the API key authentication and then the Microsoft Dentro authentication actually. So if you see in API key authentication, the API, all the API requests must include Azure OpenAI API key actually in that HTTP header. If not, actually you can't be able to do the authentication. But for Microsoft Dentro authentication, actually, you can have a token which can be called. You can authentication yeah, in the REST API using Microsoft uh, using a Microsoft Interact token actually. So in this case, actually, how what it will be happen means actually the authentication tokens are included in the authorization letter actually, and it also the token which is provided must be uh, considered as a bearer token actually. So these are the two types of authentication, like API key authentication and then Microsoft authentication was present in the authentication part of Azure OpenAI in this API actually. Okay, and then if you see, we are having the REST API in versioning actually. The REST API in versioning is nothing but actually whenever you are say sending a query parameter for a particular REST API, you should be version those API by the names of the date. For example, actually, the API call should have like actually here YYY, MMM, and DDD actually. So in, in that way, you can be able to understand how this REST API versioning can be done, and also actually how it is actually in which time and which date actually this REST API has been in merchant actually. And then the next one is the completion part actually. The completion part is nothing but actually it's like a model can generate one or more predicted completion based upon the provided prompt actually. Um, in here actually, if you see this service can also return this the completion service can return all the possibilities of alternative tokens at each position actually. For example, if I am actually creating a completion, for example, as a dot parameter means I can create a completions by using the deployment ID and API of the versions actually. and the request body will contain how much maximum tokens I need to send, the prompt, and then actually if any other things like actually temperature or age like that, we can make the completions and we can send it actually. And next one is a sort of embeddings actually. Embeddings is nothing but actually it's a vector representation of a given input that can be easily consumed by the machine learning models and other algorithms actually. So while you sending an API call for an embeddings means actually it is that actually it can be able to it can be able to get the numberings and it can then be able to send the request body like in the request body or input and user type actually. For example, actually, which user has been asking for the which machine learning algorithm they need to use it actually. Like that, actually, this numberings will be useful for a particular user to check actually which input can be done. For example, I can give an input if the food was delicious and then data like that actually. So if my food is this is the response which I got from my one of my prompt actually that my the food which I taken was delicious actually based upon the input which I given here which food could I was consumed actually. So and this is about the number the chat completions actually. We can also create a chat completions using in messages with GPT 3.5 Turbo and GPT-4 modules actually. So that in that case, if you see the usage of tokens actually, it's really important here actually. So if your token COM token is 58 and your total token of 126, but your COM token is 58 actually. But the remaining tokens will be there as a 68. So the entire then in response will be coming in this stat completion. So that if you use this stat completions in your REST API to for this REST APIs means actually it can give entire information about the chat completions like how much COM token I have been utilized, how much COM token is remaining for me, like that and all. Actually, it will be giving it actually. So these are some of the things we can add it in our Azure OpenAI REST APIs URLs, and we can send means we can get our required things from it actually accordingly. So actually now we are going to see a small demo actually. So which will tell us that how we are pushing the data from our IoT hub and then actually to some storage account, and from there actually how we are making use of this REST API to get those data into the Azure OpenAI actually. So this is about the presentation part, and now I am going on to my Azure portal. Okay, so this is my Azure portal actually. So there actually what I am going to do is I am actually going to uh, uh, I'm going to create one resource group. Under the resource group, I have all the resources which are necessary for my this demo actually. Okay. So I'm switching the directory of my thing. Yeah, I can take this one for students, and then actually I'm creating IoT hub. This is an IoT hub we are going to create, and we're creating an IoT hub here. You need to select the subscriptions accordingly, and I need to create a resource group here. Simply I'm telling the demo RG and give some good naming conversions as well. Since it's a demo, I'm doing demo IoT hub. I not there, so I'm doing 1, 2, 3, and then actually and choosing the region accordingly, the which region I can take is used to. And all for this the demo actually always goes for my free tier or basic tier IoT hub only. It takes some time to populate the tires. Standard will be very costly for us, so we are going for the free tier where we have 8,000 rupees and 8,000 daily message limit will be there at the cost of zero. And then actually, if you see for the basic, we have 4 lakh messages I can get, but I can the cost will be 1,085.35. And then actually, if you see for standard, it will be more costly, but in this people have been using 2,000 rupees per month. We can get it. So for demo purposes, we can go for this free one where and we can in networking I can do it as public access, but if you are doing it for a organization where and your organization is having some private access, actually we can go for private access one, and then in management part I'm going for share access policy plus RBAC, and then add-on stacks and just I'm creating the IoT hub now. So once I create an IoT hub, we start deploying the things. If, okay, until it's getting actually, we turn on the simulator app in Raspberry Pi actually, so that it will start sending the data for us once our IoT hub is completed. So we have a Raspberry Pi simulator connected to our which sends our data for our the temperature sensor actually. Okay, so this is a Raspberry Pi which I have been speaking, and this is the thing which will send the data, which collects the data from this temperature sensor and sensing, and it's going to us in a very good in a continuous manner actually. So the code actually in which they have been mentioned here actually it's completely into Node.js. So if you see here, um, we have our deployment is completed now. Okay, here we need to replace this. Okay, I will tell you one by one. Actually, this is on IoT Hub dashboard actually, where we have the details which are related to our IoT hub, like the source group status of our IoT hub, which location we have been created, and then also host name, which tier we have been daily message content, everything actually. So in different side pan actually, if you see actually we have been saying devices, IoT edge. Now we need to create a simple device here. So once you create a device, actually it will be attached to this Raspberry Pi Azure IoT simulator, and it will start sending the data by authenticating it actually. While creating the device, I mean, already told we have some authentication types like a symmetric key, X509, self-sign, X509, CA signs certificates, but we are going for symmetric key only now since we don't have any certificates available with us. So it will create an authenticated keys for this actually. So I can use it as a demo device, and then actually I can save it. So if I give this one actually, if I give this one actually, if you see, I can be able to see the device ID and then the primary key actually as the primary connection string, say secondary key and a secondary connection string of my device. If you see here, actually, it will have all the details related to which IoT of this device has been mapped and what is the start access key and all. Actually, we can be able to see it actually. So once it is created, so in our Raspberry Pi actually, we have a option called connection string actually, and then actually we also have a we need to replace our device ID here with the name of device ID which we created. Okay, that's called demo device. And then actually, if you see the connection string is actually we can give it as a primary connection string of your device, and we'll see actually how the data flows here actually once we given this. I'm starting the simulator now. See, it started sending the data from our Raspberry Pi, the temperature sensor from with some message ID, device ID, temperature, and humidity actually. So this is about we now started sending the data to the IoT hub which we have created actually. So from this IoT hub actually, we have an option to load this data to any some services of Azure ecosystem. So if you want to analyze that whether my data is coming or not, actually we have a message history, and after sometimes we can see the graph with a spike here actually. Okay, so if I want to check actually that what to tell actually, yeah, if I yeah, want to check actually that my device has been sending the data properly or not, there is an option called routing. So what this routing will do means we have some custom endpoints here that whatever data we are getting it from our IoT hub actually, it can be routed to this custom endpoints like actually event of Cosmos DBs, service bus queue, service bus topic, and storage. Now we are going to in our architecture, which I explained, I have been telling about some warm part and cold part. In this, actually, we have given tab as a warm part and cold part of storage. But in given tab, if I send the data, I can't be able to show you which data we are getting actually because it's in a streaming manner. So I am going to store the data whichever coming from an IoT hub into my storage account. So from there, I can show you that by means of which in API we can move those data to my Azure OpenAI. So like this actually, if we have a so I need to create a storage account here. So storage I have given I just stand down and going on. Here again, then I don't have to go to this fine. Then I can move with some default settings as well for this demo is actually purposes and all. So you can create the data in this thing in a very soon manner once it gets reviewed means there is a validation error here. Demo storage on this page. Just getting the final validation is done, we can get the create option here. Create. So till the time, if you see my simulator data is sending the data, and you can also see here actually my IoT Hub has been using the data. So this is the thing. Once my storage account got ready, and I can show you the data which I'm receiving there from my device to here actually. Okay, now my storage account is ready, and I'm going for the routing part. Message routing, custom endpoints. I can give storage. I can create. I can give add a route. This route I can give my storage account. Endpoint name as demo endpoint 234. The container I'm just creating container because I not created any container, but I already created a storage account. It takes some time for it to reflect here. I hope so. So here in this thing I can bring a container. Already have a great container here. I'm just refreshing the page. So I'm again adding the route storage, demo storage, 234. The container here 123, and inside this thing I have a demo container. Now I'm actually available with these things, and then with the batch frequency, and need to get the data in the form of JSON, and actually file format to the IoT partition. This file format it will be, and now I'm creating a node with endpoint actually. Route name demo route I can give. And this is a place actually which I have been telling about in routing queries actually, where if you have some hundreds of thousands of devices actually, if you want to load a particular device data onto a particular service, this routing queries will be very important and useful here actually. So once here actually, since we have only one demo device actually, so we can go ahead with the value as true, or else we can write some device. Data in the routing queries here to load the data according to a specific based Azure services only actually. So can create the skip enrichments and giving so that it will be creating or load and endpoints successfully. So once it is created, you can be able to see the data inside this container. So if I go and check it here, in the message loading column, we can able to see the node which I created, and also the custom endpoint which I have been created actually. Okay, so now if after 3 minutes, I hope so actually we can get some folder here which displays all the messages whichever we are getting in this route. It will take some time. So meanwhile, you guys have any queries or anything actually, you can ask me in this way. Yes, Raghu, tell me. Communication between device and IoT is through internet. Yes, actually, it is through internet. Actually, if you want, we have both types of uh, things are there. Actually, you can have a public network, or you can be able to communicate to a private network as well. While configuring the IoT hub, I have been showcased it. but the data transfer is happening by means of MQTT protocol, which is been written using the Azure IoT SDKs here actually. You see here actually the data has been transferring from here to the cloud to device and device to method callbacks and all actually. Is it fine, Rahul? That's your query? Nandip, can you please unmute Rahul? No, Rahul, I can't be able to hear you.
Hello. Yeah, okay, Smita here. Can you please repeat your question? Hello, can you hear me?
Rahul is not audible, Smita.
Okay, let me check quickly.
Yeah.
Rahul, can you please try now? Hi, Rahul.
Rahul, you're unmuted.
Can you please unmute yourself and ask the query? Yeah.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yes, Rahul, yeah, tell me.
Yes.
Yeah, so thanks for unmuting. No, I had Saravanan, I had a question. You had shown a slide earlier, in the first few slides about the pre-processing and that slide. Could you take that slide? I had a couple of questions on that.
Okay, tell me, Rahul.
So if you can show that slide, probably then I can ask the question.
Which one you want actually? Which slide you want to check?
No, you had shown a slide about the architecture. Not this one, the next one. No, next one. No, next slide. Next slide. Next slide. Next slide. This one. I had a question on this. Yeah, this one. No, the
Okay.
earlier one. Yeah, no, the earlier one. Yeah, this one. Correct. So, I mean, you might find my. Yeah.
Hello.
This.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one. This one. So
Okay.
my question was, my questions are obviously because I'm not conversant about the different terminologies and concepts in OpenAI or generally in GenAI. Hence, these questions. So,
Okay.
the first of what I've understood, I'll quickly summarize. On the extreme left, which you ingest, we're actually scanning the documents
Okay.
and probably putting in a format which is like a form recognizer. And when you go to pre-processing, why do we need to do document chunking? I mean, it happens automatically, or it's software that happens? How does it run this pre-process?
It actually no, actually it happens automatically actually. Okay, these are the processes which are there inside the three processes we have been mentioning. Okay, so
Okay,
you no need to concentrate separately for document chunking. If you're using a form recognizer, it will do it for you and send those models to your Azure OpenAI services. It's a kind
and
of an elaborated one we have been mentioned here.
thank you. The next is that then it goes to store embeddings, which is a storage box, right? Or what do you mean by store embeddings? Is it different from the storage that we have, or it's like a normal storage out here?
It's a normal storage actually. You can have your Cosmos DB also there actually, no problem actually. So
Okay,
it's a
fine,
kind of yeah, any storage purposes you can have it actually.
understood. Then the point fifth is that user, he runs a query, whatever he wants to know, and then it goes to the Azure service. And from there are three workflows you have said. One is, so this task 1, task 2, and task 3.
Yeah.
These are the options that are given to him, or that is like, I mean, how is that? I've not understood
Actually,
this.
these are the tasks actually which user wants to do. Okay, since we can't show three different flows now, so that we have been combined all three together in the single flow, and we have been taken this with the numbering.
No, understood. So, so these options which are given for different tasks for retrieving the probably most search document or web search, and the third one, which is product comparison.
Summarize, yeah.
So this is pre. How do I say? This is like options already given to him, or you would have written. What I want to understand is that we would have written a software to do this, or uh, how, these are the three options which kind of one has to select, and then he would use one of these. How is
No,
this
no, it's
thought of?
not the options given to him. Actually, he wants to do those things. He has given those prompts to us. Okay. For
Okay, so
example, you can see the task one, task two, task three is a example prompts we have given. Okay, but he might be given different prompts also. If you are in this case, based upon your use case, you need to give some prompts actually. Like I want to know about this central paragraph of my particular document, like that
I
and all.
understand. I
So
understand.
it depends upon actually it's a kind of an example task only we have been mentioned it. It's not like an option given to the user. It's a
I
user given to this actually
Yeah. But you
task
can
actually.
also give options if required. The point is you can also give options if required, isn't it?
We can give actually, but usually recommendation sections actually will not correctly define the things. For example, if you are raising a support ticket to Microsoft based upon some Azure services, they will be giving some recommendations or options for you, which might they are actually want us to check whether those recommendation resolves our problem or not actually. But 90% of the time it won't resolve our problem. So sometimes it might resolve our problem. So recommendation we can give, but the most suitable thing is actually it is better the user can give a proper prompt and he can get the things done.
Okay. Now, so I understand now. Thank you. The third, then there are three options that are given. If the person selects retrieving the internal documents, in that case, it uses the Azure OpenAI service, and it goes and
Mm.
checks the database.
Yeah. Mm.
And in the second option, it's a web search, so it would use the Bing search probably,
Correct. Yeah.
and it goes into model memory
Langchain
LangChain.
and correct. Yeah.
So this is configured on its own, or you have to configure, uh,
We need to configure actually.
including going to the Bing search, is it?
Correct. Yeah. Bing search, we need to define it actually. Which Azure Open, once you come into Azure OpenAI service, we need to define which language model or which service I need to use actually. Whether it's a Bing search or whether it is kind of any cognitive services I need to use like that.
Okay. And then the third is for summarization, it goes to moderation filter, which is what? This is an automated thing that happens. How does it go?
It will happen actually the moderation filter actually for example the flow from Azure OpenAI service like I have a task like summarize and generate some product comparisons things like that. They have some we have the product comparison model will be available actually. So based
Understood.
upon my model actually the moderation filter will filter and it will give the comparison results actually to my chat window of my web app which is already deployed, which is
So,
visible to my user.
right. So this is off-the-shelf moderation filter, is it?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. So the last question that I have got is uh, another last two questions. This so we need to build this logic, is it? If it's a document retrieval, it has to go to the database. If it is web search, it has to go to the Bing, and if it is
Yeah.
summation, it has to go to the. So you have to build that logic, is it?
Yeah, we need to build a logic on our own actually. I don't want this data to be stored in any databases means I need to send those data through some Azure functions and from the Azure functions I can send to any desired services also, or I can download those data into my after processing and I can store it in my non-premises services as servers as well actually. So it's completely depends upon our client use cases only.
Okay. And the final question I have is, Saravanan, is that what is the purpose of LangChain? I mean, I've heard it. Frankly, pardon me, I don't know about it. Hence, you might find this question very a basic question. But what is the
Hmm.
purpose of LangChain out here?
LangChain actually, it will actually use to check based upon your search. For example, if you're searching something in internet, actually, okay, it
Mm-hmm.
will tells us actually that what kind of match exactly your search will matches actually based upon your
Okay.
given. search words wordings actually. So this is about the LangChain will do. But if you want any detailed explanation about LangChain, actually, I hope so. Before my sessions, actually, my Bhargav has given a detailed explanation on LangChains actually in this group. So you can make use of those questions as well, and you can get some deep insights about LangChain. Actually, at that part.
Today, I'm missed out. If it was given today, I don't know. Okay, fine.
Hello. Yeah.
No, fine. Thank you, Saravanan. Appreciate your help.
Okay. Okay, Raghu. Thank you so much for your question.
Thanks for your guidance. Thank you, Smita, for giving me a chance to ask a question.
Yeah, welcome.
Okay, then actually we are continuing with our demo. Actually, if you see here, we are actually sending the data, and you can able to see here some data has been displayed here. Actually, if you see in our container, I can be able to see the data here actually. So now I got my data in my Azure container in the form of the JSON file. If I am actually download and see this JSON file means actually we can see the data till now which we got, but the data will be the base 64 and 4. Data which I downloaded will be in of I'm opening in the Notepad++, where you can show base. If you see here, the body will not be fully encrypted. Actually, it will be the base 64 format. So I am just decoding this base 64 one actually, and I need to check which content of data has came here. And the decode from this content. Decode it. I can get the data here. Whatever the data actually after configuration I had actually, I actually getting it temperature. So this is the data I got now. So using Azure OpenAI API, how I can in which format I can send this data means actually. This is a format actually which I want to tell you. If I want to send this thing means actually I have an option called host I'm giving, and then actually I was going for a HTTPS my resource name. We can give any resource name here actually, so that it should come as .openai.azure.com, and then OpenAI, and then I'll give this temperature, and then actually I can give the values of my temperature here, and then actually I can give completions at my temperature. If anyone ask actually what is my what is the temperature current value actually, and we need to using this API version. API version we have been already told actually on based on the 2023 this is the format I need to give actually. So like this, and I can give something like so OpenAI like a demo. From this actually we can go as this API part which I have been seeing. I can sending a post request of my data which is there in my Azure JSON, and then we have been sending those value to the Azure OpenAI actually. Once this API was triggered actually, and it can be given to any of your applications actually. This data will be displayed in your web page or any chat windows actually. So this is what a demo I want to tell you guys actually and showcase. So that's it from my side. Yeah. And thank you for your time and everyone actually. And it's been a really wonderful things for me. And thank you, Puneet, Community and the business and Smith actually for giving me this opportunity to showcase this session and demo to the user section.